Hello, community. So today we're going to talk about something the Wall Street Journal reported today, that Google is developing an Android console and an Android watch. Now, the console thing is rather interesting because it's funny how all these articles about every device made now, they're making this device to buffer themselves against future products that Apple might make. Well, first of all, let's get this straight. Apple is not going to make a gaming console because, in a sense, they've already kind of done that in a way. The iPad, the iPod, the iPhone, can do gaming and other stuff. They don't need to actually develop a gaming console because they've already got it. The people, I mean, listen, I have an iPad. We have iPhones and iPods, and we have games on all of them. And that the fact of the matter is they don't need to make a console. But again, the truth is, people are going to say, well, what's going to happen to the Ouya if Google gets in? Well, the one disadvantage Ouya has to Google is that Google has of course, Google's own marketplace and Google Play, which would allow the device to have access to several games already out there. So that would be one disadvantage. But that doesn't always mean just because a big player moves into a market that they're going to win. Microsoft decided to make the Zune. How did that turn out? I mean, just because big companies want to get involved in something doesn't mean. Now, they cited the fact that they're going to get involved with this because of how good Ouya is doing. Ouya sold out one day. Only one day. Now we're talking retail, okay? They sold out one day, and today they're back to not being sold out again. So how many were there really sold out is the question, right? What was that real data? The Android watch is interesting because, again, there's always been computer watches, right? Remember being in school and I had the old black Casio watch that had the whole calculator stuff on it. They've always been around. Though I don't really think of watches much myself anymore because how many devices do we have that actually have time on it, right? Cell phones, laptops, iPads. There's almost, you don't think of a watch anymore because you always seem to have a device with it. But it'd still be cool if they make one. But so they're developing a console. The only thing about this console is like every other console, from the Game Center to the Shield to the Ouya. What features is this going to have? More importantly, what games are they going to have? And are these games going to be exclusive and make them different than everybody else? If these things don't happen, there's almost no point. Yeah, Google can, with their power of their Google Play, actually get an advantage over the other ones I talked about because, they already have Angry Birds and all this other stuff on Google Play, so that does give them advantages against the other Android devices that are doing gaming. But does that give them an advantage over Apple, over Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft? Not yet. And that's the question. Now, don't get me wrong. Google's like Microsoft and other big companies. They can keep throwing money at it until they eventually get it right. And again, there is no actual announcement of a console. You guys remember when they announced that Google was developing the Chrome operating system? Have we actually seen that yet? No. So just because they're developing doesn't mean we'll ever see it. But it's interesting that because of certain things that happened, they've decided to develop a console. And that maybe they could release it. Again, if they're looking to develop a console, they're probably looking to make it kind of like, the Ouya in a cheap range. Unless they're going to add multiple features to it. But even then, with how tight the market is right now, with all these kind of tech-heavy devices coming out, especially this whole Android console stuff, there's several of them out there. They're all over Kickstarter. What's the price that people are willing to pay for it? The question is, what price are you willing to pay for an Android gaming console? Are you even interested if Google makes one? And what games do they have to have on to make you actually want to play it? For me, it has to be games and experience that other people don't have. And again, right now, the one reason I don't jump into the whole Android gaming consoles that are all coming out, and Android's an easy platform, obviously, to move to almost anything. But there's no game there to me that says I have to have this, that I can't get that same experience or that same game on another device. Until that happens, same thing as everything else. But again, love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. That's all I have for now. Talk to you guys again soon.